What's up everybody? On Facebook, I asked whether people wanted to see a video on toadstool leathers or the aquariums that we saw in Denver. The toadstool video won, but I figured I would show them both because plenty of you wanted to see both. Guys are greedy. I'm just kidding. Anyhow, I spent a good amount of time hanging around the conference, but I did get out a little bit to see the sights. The first night, we went to Denver's downtown aquarium, and I have to say that it was a pleasant surprise. Now, I didn't really expect it to be on par with some of the bigger aquariums in the US like Shed or anything like that, and I sure as heck didn't expect it to compare with what I saw in Singapore. What the downtown aquarium did have were some really well-kept exhibits, and they did a very good job with the overall look and feel of the aquarium. It had a very polished theme park vibe, and it wasn't just a building with fish tanks that some medium-sized aquariums kind of suffer from. Now this display was my favorite. It was an SPS tank with tons of healthy large colonies. Now what blew me away about this tank was that they had fish that ate corals, and it just didn't matter. They were getting so much growth that it outpaced that predation. Now not only did they have butterfly fish and some angels, they had a parrotfish. A parrotfish, wrap your brain around that for just a moment. My favorite fish at the aquarium was this guy. This is commonly called a blue and yellow grouper. Yeah, the fish guys haven't quite caught the naming bug that the coral guys have. It's really sweet though, and I'm partial to the colors considering that I'm a Michigan grad, living in Ohio. What could go wrong, right? Okay, so in short, the downtown aquarium was nice. Like I said, the exhibits were very well taken care of, and there was a good bit of diversity. Now, I've only shown a small segment of what I saw there, and obviously, I'm only showing the saltwater stuff. But we heard that the best aquarium exhibits were not at this aquarium, but rather at the Denver Zoo. That was not true. We had some faulty intel on that one, but I'm not even mad because the zoo was really cool. Right when we walked in, we saw this guy walk up this giant rock like the freaking Lion King, and I was actually thinking if he lets out a roar, I can pretty much pack up my camera because there's nothing in this place that's gonna top that. I don't go to a lot of zoos, but I'm used to seeing all the animals sleeping, like this tiger here. Oh, I forgot to mention, the downtown aquarium also had a tiger and it swam around. But as I was saying, the majority of the exhibits here had very active animals. Almost all of them were out and about. Ah, finally, we found it. This is the reef tank that's at the zoo. Now, there's only a few saltwater tanks there, and this one was pretty nice. I thought that the giant branching hammers are pretty impressive, actually. They also had an anemone tank that had some giant rose bubble tips. One thing that caught my attention was that it seemed like this zoo has an overstock of elephants or something. Most zoos I know are pretty stoked about having just a couple of elephants, but at the Denver Zoo, I saw them all over the place. A perfect example of this was when I was looking at a monkey exhibit, and then I'd look away a little bit and there's an elephant in there with them. It's like this really strange recurring theme. Yeah, it's just a lot of elephants. In the interest of keeping it real, this was my first trip back to Colorado since the legalization of marijuana. And maybe I was around a lot of touristy areas, but the scent was really noticeable. And the zoo got a little surreal at times because for some of the exhibits, there would be speakers playing like African drum music. The combination of the weed and the music made me feel like I was in a drum circle in college or something. I'm not gonna lie, the animals were probably baked. Alright, that pretty much does it for my trip to MACNA. I'll be looking forward to the one in DC next year. and I will try to get some actual reef-related videos out soon. Until then guys, take care, and don't get jacked by a hippo.